After finishing OLL to orient the top layer, the final step of the CFOP method is, you guessed it, solve the last pieces in their correct spots, called PLL, or permutation of the last layer. The goal of PLL requires recognizing the pattern on the sides of the last layer and using one of the 21 algorithms to solve the remaining pieces to their correct spots. While it's fewer than OLL, they're slightly longer to memorize. So, we'll cut it down to just 6 algorithms called 2-look PLL. Also, make sure to turn the top layer to position the cases rather than rotating. First, we check for headlights at the top, which is a pair of same colored stickers facing in the same direction, looking like this. And it's still the case if the edge is solved or not. If you already have headlights on all sides, you can skip to the last part of this video. In this case, however, there are no headlights, which indicates that the corners needed to be swapped diagonally. This is called a Y-perm. It's quite a long algorithm, but we can easily memorize it by keeping track of this pair. From any angle, F, insert the pair to the bottom, don't forget U prime, bring the pair back up, then F prime. The last half is pretty easy. Sexy move, then move this pair down, F, R, F prime. Now all of the corners should be solved. Next case is when there are headlights, so hold it on the left side. This time we'll swap these two corners diagonally with a T-perm. For this algorithm, it's essentially a Y-perm, but the two halves are swapped. However, we need to remove that F prime F since it does nothing. Then RR becomes R2. So this is our T-perm alg. First, we do a sexy move this pair down, F, R2, then inserting this pair in, U prime, and move the pair back up, F prime. Once the corners are solved, it's time to position the last edges to solve the cube. A quick tip to note is that you don't have to align the headlights, but I recommend doing so for easier recognition. When you have one edge solved, hold it at the back. Then look at either the left or right edge that has a color opposite to the headlights. For example, this edge on the right side has a red sticker opposite to the orange headlights, which is not the case for the left edge. It's called the UA perm. First, we'll bring this pair to the back, R U prime. Next, bring these two matching stickers up and aside twice. After R, you bring everything back down. U prime, R prime, U prime, R2. Next case is when the edge on the left side is opposite to the headlights, is called UB perm. Now you could do the lefty UA perm, which works if you prefer, but I'll show you the right-handed version. R2, U, move this cross piece aside, R, U, then bring everything back down. So R prime, U prime, R prime, U prime, R prime, U, R prime. Finally are the cases when there is no solved edge. For the H perm, all of the edges are opposite to the headlights. This algorithm is pretty easy to learn, but remember that M2 goes up. Start with M2, U prime, M2, U2, then M2, U prime, M2 again. Lastly is Z perm. This time the edges are adjacent to the corners, so we want to hold the swapping edge on the front and the adjacent edge on the right, like so. M prime, U prime, M2, U prime, M2, U prime, M prime, U2, M2. Congratulations! You finally mastered the 4 steps of the beginner CFOP method. I know it's been a puzzling journey, but I'm glad you stuck with it until now. I'm proud of you, my friend. But until then, practice, take care, and have a good day.